YouTube guys. Apologies about that, YouTube guys. You missed up to a red flag. So we'll do this brief again. So before the race happened, Paradox pulled into the pit lane for his pit lane start, and then his wheel broke, so he never started the race. Into turn one, then bad start from Goose, as Goose, driving now for Overpower, the sister team to Pocomo. Alfie has just had a moment with his car. Interesting. And then yes. So Goose making it up into P4 after a bad start through turn one. Then we had a couple of drivers getting together and well, leaving the race. No, actually it was just one driver who about turn 6 had a little moment and well, didn't keep it on the track. After that we had a safety car, and then on the safety car restart we had Gab's front left tyre just deciding it wants to have its own adventure and flying into, well, I can only assume, the ether before bouncing a few times and landing next to his car. We had another safety car after that, during which the safety car lost connection to the server, and that has brought out the red flag we see ourselves in now. We have a race order: P1, car number 23, P2, car number 56, P3, car number 9, P4, car number 21, P5 is car number 33, that is Max Verstappen's number if he wasn't using number 1 in real F1. P6, number 63, P4, no, P7, my apologies, is car number 12. And I don't know what has happened to Alfie. What's happened to Alfie? Very interesting. But we go for a formation lap now. And I just don't know what's happened to Alfie. He's just gone. That is a big shame. But he is far in the lead of the championship, so I'm sure he won't be too high on points. He's got 3 championships anyway. So back to the grid we go for a 21 lap race around Laguna Seca. XCP4 here, this is Kimmy. As he warms his tyres up, they must be freezing cold right now. And he's trying not to crash into anyone as everyone else is. That's Seb going slow, trying to get their positions. Ooh, massive brake clock there from Kimmy, as he does some interesting techniques to warm his tyres up. Around we go, final few corners before the lights go back out. Let's have a look at Alfie's partner in team. This is Seb. They're not married, I didn't say it like I didn't mean it like that. I was going to say partner in crime, but they haven't done anything illegal. So this is his teammate, Seb. As we look onto the grid, we can see the drivers lining up. Goose in the pit lane for a pit lane start. He will go on the blue flags. To me, P1. And we now wait for the lights. One red light, 2 red lights, 3 lights, 4 red lights, 5 lights which are red coloured. It's green and they are off. Bad start from Seb, who's trying to make it up without a front wing. Let's have a look at Tommy now. Tommy in P 1. Let's have a quick look over to the Dutch racing driver of, that's Akuz. Okay, we'll have a look at Akuz. On board with Akuz now, and we can see just how close this is. Lock up from Levy as he makes a position on Seb into turn 3. Turn 4 now. Lost drivers just missing the apex. Seb trying to slipstream all the way down the straight, and is Levy going to keep his position. He's fighting it hard. He's fighting it to the wire. There's been contact, and that's Seb sideways into the barrier. He's flipped it. He's upside down. That's a safety car, and that's not what you want to see. 3 drivers involved in a massive crash there. The radiator mangled all sorts of sideways there as Akuz gets going again. No, he doesn't. He's involved in this crash, but there's also one more person involved in this crash. It is Levy. Levy with a wonky suspension on our screen. He doesn't go into the pit lane, which I would expect him to with damage of that sort. Everyone else into the pit lane now. They're going to have fresher tyres on the restart. That is not what you want to have happen on a safety car restart after a long red flag. Well, you can see the safety car there, driven by the amazing Wesley. Well, that's actually Wesley the Amazing. And, well, more laps of safety car. Lap 10 now. And it's the safety car. Oh, that was an interesting crash there, wouldn't you guys say? A lot of action for a few seconds. To parading, and well, I'm not sure if Levy wants to be at the back of the pack, but I would have suggested pitting to fix his car, because he did get collected at, he was one of the people initially involved in the crash. Of course, there is the scene of the massive incident. Akuz and Seb still in the gravel. Well, there's Akuz in the pits again. There is Seb still in the pit lane. And that's a lot of damage. The Destructors Championship is going to be aloft in this one. Let's have a look at Levy as the safety car's gone very wide. Be interesting to see just what he does, whether he comes into the pit lane or not. No, he seems to be fine on his screen. Lucky Levy, because that is a lot of damage. Gets told that he is free to unlap, so off Paradox goes, and he will be trying to get back as fast as he can. Lap 11 of 30. Akuz is now officially out of the race. Let's have a look at Tumi. Tumi in P4, he's just at the back of the pack. And, well, right on board with Tumi. Driving for APS, of course. As we wait for the safety car to end. He's having a bit of desync there. That is not what you want to see when you're watching someone just then go towards the wall. Interesting. Oh, back, out. He's getting a lot of desync. Tumi is. That is a lot of desync. That's a lot of desync. But through the corkscrew we go, and that is a lovely shot right there. It's It's interesting to see what Tumi will be doing. Let's have a look at Kimi. Kimi's in P3. Now, statistically, P3 gets a better start from P2 on any restart, really, any moving restarts, because they have a chance of seeing P1 move before P2 does. If you're P3, you're not looking at P2, you're looking at P1, because if you can get a better start than P2, you can overtake them into turn 1, and then you've made a place. But if you're looking at P2 to go, P2's looking at P1, by the time P2's gone, it's way too late. So that's why you look at P1 if you're at P3. The further back you are, it's you're at the back. You're not really going to be able to see P1, so you go as far as you can. But still, P3 never looks at P2 on a safety car restart or a normal restart. It's just a rolling start. Anyway, lap 12, and we are still under safety car conditions. Lots of dust being kicked up by the drivers here in the somewhat sunset-ish, it's starting to become sunset. Safety car's in this lap though, as the sun starts to set. Yeah. A lot of smoke or something in the air from the cars in front. Riding on board with Kimi, we will have a look at just when we will go. Waiting for the green flag. There's the green flag, so we can go whenever P1 wants. P1 is this driver, Kimi's teammate, Levy. This is P1 Levy with a slight damage to his rear. And when is he going to go? It's not now. It's still not now. It's now, and it's off. No overtaking until the line, and that's an overtake on before the line from Kimi. That's going to be looked at by the stewards. He then pulls back quite rightly. He's lost a position to Tumi. Tumi, though, massive lockup, and he is fighting for P3. He makes it to P3, though, keeping it around the outside, and he is now fighting for P4. On board with Tumi now, and you can see just how fast these drivers are. Lock up from Levy. Just a bit wide goes Tumi, and that's been contact that he's spun. Contact from Kimi and Tumi. Now we've got another safety car. Don't know why that safety car was called. The damage is part of Tumi still. It's still connected. He's going to have no downforce though, but green flag, and well, that's interesting. Well, we'll have a look at Kimi anyway. Kimi has no front wing anymore, but he is P3, fighting with no one now. Maybe Paradox, I don't know. But he's going to have to pit. Let's have a look at Goose, who is fighting for the lead currently. He's got all his downforce, and so does Levy, apparently. Through we go. Maybe Kimi does have his front wing, because he has not pit. Into turn 1 we go. Massive lockup from Levy there in P1. Black of the screen right from me there. Goose trying to brake later. Lock up from Levy every corner. Lock up from Kimi as well. Lock up from everyone actually. Everyone's locking up here. Oh, it's him off track right there. It just scares me so much. This is where we had the incident last lap. Goose trying to catch up, trying to get closer. We're going to have an outdated graphic here. Goose now driving for APS, not the wildcard, and he's not wildcard anymore, that's for sure. He was round 2, down the inside into the corkscrew, side by side. Is he going to make it? He makes it past Levy, and Levy's slowed down so much. What's happened to Levy? At the back now, he's just lost 2 positions in the span of 1 corner. That's a massive shame. Kimi in the pits to change his tyres, I'd expect. Levy now has a lot of time to catch up. On board now with Levy, the Dutch GP driver. Ignore the engine over revving. That's from the damage that his screen doesn't show him. You can see him just trying to get more time. Get more time? Get less time. No, get more time. To Goose. Goose now in the lead of the race in his third Formula 3 race of this season. Of course, into turn 5 we go. Up towards the sun. The drivers will be looking right at the sun. They'll be closing their eyes a little bit just to protect their eyes from a massive light that it is. Of course, looking into a bright thing, it's very hard to make anything else out. Into the corkscrew we go. Pretty safe through the corkscrew, not pushing any boundaries there, but Goose just getting further and further away as we can see these 2 drivers getting it more and more separated. The gap now 2 seconds. Is Levy going to enter the pit lane or not? Let's just have a look. He's not. Doesn't quite get the exit that he might have wanted. Goose now into turn 1 in P1. Lap 16, over halfway of the race complete. And this is your leader right here, Mr. The Goose 1. Through turn 4 he goes. Dipping a wheel on the dirt and, well, the hills of Monterey have been hearing the engine songs of this man right here. And every other driver who has made it this far, not so far. But still, most importantly, currently, this person is leading the race. There's a safety car being called. Who's off track? Paradox is off track. That's not what you want from someone who's had a lot of issues so far. He's just binned it off the track, and he is not going no more. Oh, he's not even that far off. That's what hurts more. If he was by the barrier, it'd be painful to feel, but here, just off the track, that hurts more because it's right there. It looks like you can get it, but on this gravel track, not a chance. New victim has been claimed by the track. This race turning into a race of attrition here as he tries the reversing tactic, which is not working. Well, this is the safety car out once more, on board with the safety car, now off board with the safety car. That is not what you want. But the safety car rounds the corners one more time. Well, more than one more time. And, well, that is safety car number 4, I believe. This truly is quite the spectacle that we have had today on the sessions, on the servers. You can hear the engine of Levy catching up. It might be a Dutch GP 1-2 if these 2 drivers, not these 2 on screen, but Levy and Kimi, if they can get their act together, they might just get a Dutch GP 1 and 2. But around we go. Three drivers lined up, just waiting for one more driver to catch up. I believe the safety car will be in next lap. Paradox, though, still not on the track. He is still right here, and his engine has overheated, as you can expect if it's being revved all the time. Let's have a look at what? A Coos? Offline, of course, yes. Let's have a look at Gab then. or not. I'm misremembering. Let's have a look at Goose, who is leading the race. As you can see, Tomi has caught up now. Caught up? What am I saying? He's now caught up. And we have 12 more laps of racing. That was a cool shot there from the game, straight through the windows of the safety car. That's very cinematic. Was that a safety car in this lap? I didn't look. No, it wasn't. That was Paradox retiring from the race. Unfortunate, but sometimes these things happen. Well, the call is usually made about here. There we go, safety car in this lap. So we can expect to see the safety car lights turn off about after the corkscrew. And this driver to then take over and bring us home for another 12 laps of racing. How close is this racing going to be? Hopefully very, very close. It is always very hard to tell. But it's always a fun watching these drivers spin their wheels, whatever wheels it may be. Maybe the steering wheel, maybe these rear wheels, or the front wheels. Whichever way they're steering, green flag is flown, and we are now under the mercy of this driver right here, Mr. Goose. Round of the final corner, where's he going to go? No overtaking until the finish line. He's gone straight out of the corner, and that's caught the others off guard. They're used to being pulled a bit further down before they go. Braking for turn 1. No contact has been made quite yet. Let's have a look at Levy in P2 as he is being chased by his teammate Kimi, his teammate and longtime IRL friend Kimi. A lot of these drivers cheerful with each other out of the racetrack, but once their helmet's on, these drivers show no mercy. Down the inside, Kimi has a look, doesn't quite go for it, doesn't think he's close enough, keeps it within slipstream though, and he's gonna have a lovely chance as he goes up the hill. Let's have a look on board with Kimi as he goes through into the corkscrew. Finally on board, and he's gone for the inside line, and he's just gone around, and that is Kimi getting up into P2. Levy falling down into P4. He's had a massive moment at corkscrew then, because Tomi's made it into P3 as well. Let's have a look at Levy, who is going to want his P3, his podium, his baby back as soon as he can. On board now with Levy, and we can see just how close Tomi is to the back of Kimi. That is a massive gap already made to Levy. Levy probably with some damage to his car. Doesn't sound like he has damage, but anything is possible. Around turn 3 we go, and that is a tiny gap between Kimi and Tomi. Let's have a look at this battle then. Tomi getting a bit sideways on the exit, bit squirrely out of 4. Into 5 we go. Kimi holding his line still, holding his defense firm. He knows Tomi's not going to try anything, and he knows that he is safe. Tomi very wide out of that corner, saying it again, and he is still very far back. Massive gap now, you can see right there. Corner just always looks so hard. Let's have a look from Tomi's on board then, as we get another look. Is he going to make up ground at turn 1? Looked like a pretty good exit to me. Bad exit apparently for Kimi. Not as good as it was from Goose. Let's have a look at the gap. The gap looks to be closing actually. So that's not the camera I want. That is. Around we go. Chasing. hopefully not chasing too hard, as we have 9 laps left of the race. Around the corner he goes. That's a massive gap to Levy. He's just fallen off. He said, no, I'm just going to survive this race. If you guys are going to crash each other out, you do that. But I will pick up the podium if you guys do. It just takes one more person DNFing from the race for Levy to get a podium. And that's what he's going to be banking on now, I'm guessing. Doesn't want to get too far back though, because otherwise he will have a hard time catching up under the safety car. There's Toomey going very, very all kinds of wide. As the penultimate corner, Heavy just picking up the final pieces. As we go past into turn 1 again, walk up from Toomey there, and he goes very wide. What's going to happen into this next corner? Let's have a look. Nothing spectacular. The driver's kicking up a classic bit of dust out of these corners. Goose going off track, Kimi going off track. Toomey spun it round. That gives Levy a podium position once more. Getting it going pretty quickly though is Toomey. So let's just have a look at Levy. And now he is he's going to want to be punching in those times again to get to back to fighting for the a higher podium spot. And well, let's have a look at his teammate Kimi, because Kimi is getting onto the back of Goose. I don't know if Goose has had a moment or if he's just slowing down. But well, this race has been quite a long race. It's definitely been longer than what these drivers are used to. And well, Kimi is doing spectacularly. On board now with Kimi, and we can see just how close he is. As he dips a wheel on the dirt, around he goes. Half a second now to Goose in front. These two drivers are locked in a fierce battle. How far is this battle going to last? Hopefully to the end of the race. That'll be very interesting indeed. But around we go, alas. A little bit squirrely on the exit, Kimi is, and that has lost him a bit of time, a couple of tenths right there. He's gone wide a bit, kept it on the tarmac, and he is now catching Goose into the corkscrew. Let's have a look what's going to happen. Sideways is Goose, and Goose is backwards. That is not what you want to have happen. And I'm in the wrong camera for looking backwards. Let's have a look at how Goose is doing. Where's Goose gone? Well, he's made it back forwards again. Quickly, that's important. He has only lost one position, but he's lost a heck of a lot of time to P1. He's going to need to punch that throttle every corner, punch it as hard as he can to get the laps that he needs to get back. 6 seconds behind Kimi he is. Kimi can cool off those tyres for a couple of laps. He doesn't need to fight right now. Sideways is Goose out of that corner right there, punching the throttle maybe a tad bit too hard. He's putting his car through, he's pushing it as hard as he can. He's really on the limit right here, you can see it out of every corner. Just squirrel, scutter, scurry and shimmer. Just a few moments as he puts the throttle down. And the gap staying about the same. Levy though, he's catching up. He is 2 seconds, 1 second now behind Goose. This could be interesting to see what happens between Goose and Levy. Goose, the new sign for Overpowered GP, and Levy behind him. Long-time racer in the series, in the community. On board now with Levy as we head now for the run down to P1. P1T1. That's P1 just back there on the grid. But that's a long time ago. That's 15 minutes ago that we were at P1 now. 1 up 25. And Goose gone very wide, he has right there, shooting the throttle down. And very wide out of turn 3 he goes, and we're going to see a move possibly into the next set of corners. No, we're not. Levy keeping it behind Goose, but he's going to have the run in this set, this straight right now. Locking up the brake, they both go wide. Late apexes for both of them. They kind of missed the allowed apexes as well. And that brings Tumi back into the battle slightly as well. Oh, he's off wide once more. He's sideways. That looks like desync to me. And we have another battle here with Tumi. And Goose back to P4. Tumi now back up to P2 now. Impressive comeback from him. And, well, Levy's stayed exactly where he was. One driver's gone down 2, one driver's gone up 2. And one driver, nothing. Well, 2 drivers, nothing. But in this battle, one driver, nothing. What's Levy going to do on to this straight again on board with Levy? Goose in the pit lane now for, well, fixing his car because he got quite the whack. Lifting up the tyres slightly. Coming out of turn 1 is Levy. Following Tumi, we will see where this battle takes us. Dust being chucked up from Levy's car. Levy about 2 seconds behind Tumi. Tumi is trying to get away. Lock up from both drivers as they enter this next middle sector. And this race has just a couple laps left in it. How much action are these drivers going to pull out of this race? We will see. Into the corkscrew we go now. And what's going to happen? We will find out. That is the gap. Not that much. About 2 seconds. But that gap is growing intermittently. 4 laps left, and it kind of looks like Levy has a flat front left. It'll be interesting to see if he does. If he doesn't, well, good for him. But if he does, well, that is not good news for him. Lock up all the way down into turn 1. And just look at how big that gap has grown. 3 second gap right there. What, 2.5? Is not what you want to see. Your person, the person you're battling, just getting further away, and you pushing as hard as you can. You see them getting a gap. You just know it's over. You've got to push just that bit harder. You've got to push a bit more of your tyres. Take a bit more life out of your tyres. But we've got 4 laps left. Pretty much 3 laps left of this race. The tyre life doesn't really matter. But locking up every corner now is Levy. I think he's pushed a bit too hard and has split his front left. Be interesting to see what happens there. He doesn't take the pits, but he does round the corner pretty neatly, actually. Pretty spot on there, just right around that sausage curve. That was impressive, actually. I'm happy with that. I'd be happy at least. Looked quite smooth. Into turn 1, we see him smooth operator with that steering, actually. And around we go. 3 laps left on the little board there. Lap 28 out of 30. We are under green flag conditions. We've been going for 54 minutes, give or take. And just look at all that smoke coming off of that tyre as he brakes about anything, really. Not the look you want. Let's have a look at Parrot, not Parrot, it's at Goose, who is P4. I think Goose has got his work cut out for him a little bit. Let's have a look at Tumi in P2 as we round for 2 more laps. You can see the name tag for Kimi just in the distance there, 13 seconds in front. And that gap is shrinking. Something happened to Kimi and that gap has shrunk by 3 seconds in that straight. Although it has instantly grown back up again. So you give and takes, you know. Have been thrown. Well, am I saying that wrong? I'm probably saying that wrong. Oh well. 3 we go though. 55 minutes of race time. Still on lap 29. This is P2 right here. You see P3 just in the background, 8 seconds behind us, 19 seconds behind them, 10 seconds behind them is P4. Braking for the corkscrew now, we go. The G's through there, it feels so much like a roller coaster, it's unreal. It's actually probably more than a roller coaster with how steep it is and how fast these drivers are going. These cars plant themselves to the ground like nothing. Butter goes on to bread, concrete goes on to bricks. But it doesn't go down smoother than these cars on a racetrack. They are planted to the ground. Nothing can take them off once they are moving. Well, that's a lie. If they get chopped by another car, then they do go a bit spacefaring. But if these cars are set up properly and nothing's happening to them, they are stuck harder than anything. Let's have a look at this person right here though. This is Kimi on board with him now. Pit lane has just closed. Through the corkscrew one final time though. There's just a few more corners. He can feel the victory. He can smell the victory. He can taste the victory. Although that's probably just the exhaust gases from going around this track so many times. And braking one more time. And he rounds the final corner with 12 seconds behind him. He has had a fantastic race. And he rounds the corner and he crosses the line to win the Laguna Seca GP. Oh well. Let's just have a look at the person in P2. This is Tumi. He gets 11 seconds behind. The next person rounding off the grid is the podium is Levy. Levy P3. Goose gets P4, but he's very far down. Wow, that was a great time there. That was great use of these dollars that we give these drivers to run their cars and to fix these cars after they break them. That is your final positions there. Kimi, Tumio, Levy, and Goose. Let's just have a look at your race winner. This person right here. Well, everyone, we will have the national anthem of the winning driver. The Dutch national anthem for Kimi. Well, that was a fantastic race right there. And I wonder if anyone wants to have a quick little interview. I don't think they want an interview. But we'll have a quick look, and if no one else wants an interview, then we will say goodbye. Kimmy wants an interview. I knew he would. Paradox and Timmy have said sure. So we will just need them to enter. I can't move them into my VC, so and here we go. We have the drivers entering now. So, Kimmy, you've managed to do it. Kimmy, you've managed to do it. You were fighting so hard that race, and in the final few laps, you managed to just get a gap that no one had an answer to. So, how was that for you, winning?
That has happened. With Toomey got at the end, he got some suspension damage, which just gave me basically a bit of a free win. But I'm really happy that we finally got some points for GP and my 4th win.
Your 4th win now. You're getting quite used to this top step. Do you think you'll get here more often now?
Well, I really hope so. I'm getting used to the car now. I'm getting confident with my setups and everything, so I really hope I can keep up with this.
Alright, so you're getting confident with your setups, that's good. Well, next race, what do you think you're going to be doing next race? Do you think you're going to be fighting Alfie or not?
Yeah, I was a bit able to keep up with Alfie. I think that he might have a good fight with me next race, but that really depends on my setup, because setup is everything on this car.
Setup is everything. Well, Levy, you didn't quite get P2, but you are on the same
indeed.
team as Kimmy. Must feel good to have your teammate on the winning step.
Yeah, of course, I'm really happy for him that he succeeded in his 4th win, but I'm also really happy for myself because I got my first podium of the season, and together with Kimi, we scored great points for the Constructors' Championship, so I'm really happy. I'm also really proud of Twomey, and I just had to let him pass because he's no match for me, and I'm driving my own race, so I just want to get the best out of my race without too much, conflict.
That's pretty adult of you. Well done.
Thank you.
You had a few issues though, didn't you?
Yeah, in the beginning stage, I hit a few curbs, which fucked up my suspension. Sorry for the curse words. Then everything went according to plan, and I had a little incident with Seb, and I quite don't know what happened. I was coming into the really fast left-hander, and Seb was side by side. I was fairly confident he was gonna make the move, so I braked. But the next second, I looked on my radar, and he was spun. So
yeah,
I don't know what happened.
Iffy there. But well done for your first podium of this season. Tumio.
Thank you, Nav.
You've got P2. You had quite a lot of fighting in that last section of the race. You made up 2 positions in the span of 1 corner. You happy about it?
Once again, not a race I am happy about. I was pushing on the after the last safety car. I started pushing too much on the start, hit one of the curbs, got slight damage which started screwing over my lines. I just started losing time, but yeah, P2 is still good. Nothing really too weird about that.
So you think that you're gonna bring it to Alfie next race then?
I'm gonna have to see. I'm really not one with street circuits. Singapore is really not something I'm looking forward to being at one of my stronger circuits, so I'll have to see.
Alright, well, still, P2 is not bad. What on your race there?
Yeah, it's not.
Goose, let's come to you. So, Goose,
Oh,
you had quite a slow start, but you made it to P4 at the end of turn 1. How'd you do that?
so throughout the race, well, this is my first race, so I'm still trying to get the hang of things and see how everyone in their own right drives around and leaves spaces. But I'd say for my first race, that was great. It was perfect, I'd say. Starting off in 6th, on the first lap, I managed to get to 2nd from gaps, but at the end of it, I did hit the sausage curb twice on one tire, so my entire steering was like I was driving sideways. So it was very uncontrollable, very unpredictable, and I decided that since it was close to the end of the race, I'd just stick in and see how things went.
That's not the easiest race then. That explains
No,
the drop
definitely
in
not.
pace. But before you had that incident with your suspension, happy with the race? I'd be happy. Great.
I'd say I did well, because since Alfie wasn't there to take 20 seconds off of 2nd place, I had a good opening and good position to try and stick in and see what happened. But later at the end, as you saw, hit sausage curbs, everything fell apart a bit, and the race strategy kind of just disappeared.
Well, great first race in a full-time seat. Well done.
Mm-hmm.
Seb, what even happened, my man? You're trying to join the BeamGP gymnastics team? There was a nasty crash right there. You're right.
Yeah, I'm okay. It was pretty big. I just had to look back and I was spiral rolling everywhere. It seems like me and Levy were going into, a very high-speed corner, so it's quite difficult. I was right behind him, but I was kind of offset to the inside, just to... You tend to do it, right? But I was going to move back to the racing line and, stay back for the corner, because it's not really a place you overtake. Then a kind of miscommunication happened, and he also backed out because he thought I was going to actually go for the move, and that just means he went really slow, and I had a bit more speed because I was thinking he was just going to take it normally. So we came together. Not really anyone's fault. It happens.
Yeah, that happens.
So yeah, a bit unfortunate.
3 cars involved in that. You and Aku's alright?
Yeah, I mean, me and Akus ended up in a ground trap, so it's not optimal, but...
No. Well, you still happy with your race before that, though?
If I'm happy with Nürburgring? I'm not really too happy with the race, to be honest. It was, I was slow. I was making mistakes.
Well, good luck.
So, I mean...
Good luck next weekend, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully you can do better.
Thanks.
Alfie,
Oh,
3-time world champion. You spin it out of the final
Oh,
corner,
don't do it to me.
and then you just retire. What happened, man? What happened?
Well, the spin itself, that was my rear tires were a bit cold, so I was trying to kind of build a bit more temperature up. But I've done that before, so I was looking forward to a bit of a last to first challenge again. Which it's a shame that I got disqualified so early, because we had a lot of pace in hand this weekend. In qualifying, I sandbagged, so I was on from 13.8, and I decided to just do race runs instead of qualifying, and that still put me first. So we had a lot of pace in hand, and just unfortunately, I checked the rule book. There wasn't a rule against editing your configuration, but it's it's still ruled illegal somehow. So, but yeah, I was missing the driving.
Well, you had a pretty strong race up until that point. Lots of safety cars, and you remained first until...
Yeah, it was proper boring.
So, looking forward to next weekend?
Yeah, it's automation, which I don't have a great record of. I think I've got the record for being the only person to be on the podium whilst upside down at automation, which is a long story with the sausage curbs, but I imagine it'll be okay. We've unlocked something, and the car was great this weekend. It was really, really good, hence the sandbagging, so we should be very strong next weekend.
I'll look forward to it. Thank you, everyone. Well, there you have it. That was the race at Laguna Seca. Brilliant race from everyone watching, everyone taking part. Thank you to the race control for putting up with everything this weekend in not just F3, but in GTWC. Thank you for the drivers for that spectacular piece of action that we've just had. Next weekend, automation at the lovely automation test track in Maine. That will be streamed live on the Twitch here, twitch.tv/BeamGP, and on the YouTube, youtube.com/@BeamGP. I'll catch you then next weekend, same time, same place. So, don't go anywhere. Well, come here next time. Goodbye.